welcome. I'm Claudia. If you're new here, I'm gonna go ahead and do a very brief introduction of myself because there's been quite several new faces recently. I just got to 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube and I am so thankful for you tuning in and watching my videos. I really love and enjoy sharing my plant journey with you. So very briefly, if you're new here, I share all sorts of houseplant content. I do a lot of like vlog style plant chores. I like to feature plant genus collections, any new setups I do in home, and of course I share any and every tip and trick I might learn along the way so that you can have your plants thriving too. In honor of hitting 5,000 of you, I did add a little like submit your questions in the community tab. So if you go on my YouTube profile and then go over to the community tab, you can submit your questions and I will shoot a planty Q&A for you in the upcoming weeks. Now let's get into today's video. I'll start by saying that I am so happy to have gotten all those chores done in my recent series of things I should have already done. If you tuned in, thank you so much. If you'd like to catch up, I will link that down below. But getting all of those things that were weighing on me for far too long feels so good. And in the spirit of not letting things pile up and avoiding things to do, we are going to pot up my Monstera Albo cuttings that have rooted. So I thought since I chopped the plant with you here, then I should show you what the roots look like now that I'm gonna pot them up. I use these air quotes because I'm actually gonna just place them in perlite so that I can start feeding. I mentioned in my recent plant chores video where I talked about all the Monsteras, and I did end up potting 2 of them up, that I was waiting to see more growth on these other cuttings before I decided to pot them up. But then as I was sitting there, I was really kind of like obsessing about it, like should I be potting them, should I not? A lot of them do have secondary roots, so they would benefit quite a bit from feeding and like getting nutrients. So we are going to pot them up into perlite, so not quite an aeroid mix, pond, or anything like that, nothing permanent. Just because I'm not keeping all of them, and having them in perlite will allow me to give them nutrients as well as make them really easy to ship and more lightweight than if they were in aeroid mix or in pond. I hope that sounds good to you. I'm excited to show you what these cuttings look like. Let's go. By the way, I have seen your comments about my background being maybe too exposed and too bright, and I'm learning. I hope that you can be patient with me. The issue I'm having with having it not be as bright is that the Barina lights create this striping on the camera. I read up on it. It's something to do with the fact that the camera is mirrorless and basically the lights are cheap. So our naked eye can't catch it, but the camera does. That striping that it does. So I hope you can bear with me. I hope to have nailed these camera settings better for you soon. I'm wearing gloves because yesterday I sprayed them all down. By the way, this isn't how they've been. I think I showed you in my Monstera collection video. I had them all in their individual jar. But 2 days ago, I sprayed them down in the shower because over where they were in my laundry area, I also have my variegated banana plant, banana tree, musa, whatever. And that came with spider mites, and it's also just a general area of where I quarantine plants, new plants. So I went ahead and I sprayed these just in case there was anything lingering, and yeah. Anyway, long story short, I just placed them all in here because I knew that I would be potting them up into perlite, so this is why they're all in one vase. I figured I'll just go one by one, show you what the cutting and its roots look like, if it has an activated growth point, and then we will just place them all in their individual cups in chunky perlite. One thing I'll note is I thought I had more of these taller ones, but I guess I only have 3 left. I've really used, because I think they come in a pack of 50. I guess I've used 47 of them. I only have 3 left. So some of them I need to go in these shorter ones, which I'm not super excited about, but it is what it is because that is what I have. Okay, we will start with this one. So this cutting, I actually ended up taking the leaf off as I was rinsing it. Half of it was already dried out and gonna fall off. But this is what the roots look like. If I can get it to focus. And then the growth point. This seems to be a very nicely variegated node. So, and then even the growth point looks really nice. So I'm excited to see what it's going to actually look like. Here we go. So look at these roots, like plenty of secondary roots. Yeah, I feel like they would very much benefit from nutrients. So that is what we are going to do. Also, I think that some of these roots are dark because they were aerial roots. And I cannot see an activated growth point on this one, actually. So maybe the nutrients will encourage it. It's so interesting to me that all of these cuttings were taken at the same time and how they all have been rooting in the same spot under the same conditions, and they're all rooting at such different rates, rooting and or growing for that matter. We'll do this one next. So this also has similar roots, but this does have an activated growth point. I feel like it's hard to see. Hopefully you can make that out right there. I really wish I had more of those taller cups. I'm filling up the cups about halfway since they were in water to begin with. And hopefully the perlite is just there as more like stabilizing and helping it grow stronger roots. This one's next. This has a crazy root system, and I can see the auxiliary bud. I guess it's a little puffy, but yeah. Sorry, just picking off some debris. So that is what this root system looks like. And then the auxiliary bud is right in there. And it is a little raised, so it's like activating. I wouldn't necessarily call that activated. There's only 3 left. So this has started to shoot out. This was coming out of the jar it was in. But when it's white like that at the tip, that's a really good sign, like it wants to root. And same with this one, I do not see an activated growth point. Oh, I guess maybe it's a little bumpy too. I don't know that you'll be able to make that out. So ideally I want to put this whole, ooh, I just broke it, I think. Oh no. I want to put this whole aerial root in the cup because it wants to root. So let's, maybe I just need a different cup for this one. Okay, I think I got it. I got it. If you watched my video of when I had to chop this plant, I was so devastated. But I was also like, once it happened, I was like very resigned to like, okay, you got this. Like, you are gonna end up with so many Monstera babies. It's gonna be okay. This is the next one. Really nice, hefty root system. But again, I do not see an auxiliary bud activated yet. I actually think I'm gonna go run and get maybe like a, like one of the soup containers to try to root this in because those cups are too large for that. I mean small, one sec. Okay, I got the soup container. Gonna add this in here. By the way, I did look up when I chopped it and it was exactly or pretty close to 4 months ago. I'm curious to know if you've chopped a Monstera deliciosa, preferably Albo, but like the regular green version I think would also tell a similar story, and how long it took for it to root for you and start growing. Same kind of thing with this one. Really nice root system happening. Not really the activated growth point yet. It's just so interesting to me when I was saying how they're growing at such different rates. Like the one we potted in pond in my chores video, that one grew the first leaf pretty quickly. I want to say like 5 weeks tops. And then it just had the one leaf for a while, and then eventually it grew the second leaf. I'm almost out of chunky perlite too. Looking at them a little bit more closely with you and really like inspecting the activated growth point or whatever, I'm feeling a little discouraged. I feel like most of them don't have really the activated growth point or like signs of it actually growing, even though the root system looks really nice. This is my very first time chopping and trying to propagate a Monstera Albo, or a variegated Monstera, I should say. So if you have experience, I'm curious to know how long it took you to start growing. I heard someone say that it took them a year for like their cutting to start growing. It's insane. Who has that kind of patience? Okay, anyway, for now, I'm gonna go clean that windowsill area where they were. I'll return them back, and I guess just continue to be very patient because what else is there to do? If that baby that started growing for me that we potted into pond together is any indication of what these might look like, I think they're just all gonna be so stunning and I can't wait to see them grow. I guess I'm just getting a little impatient. This is gonna be it for today. I'm going to try to do much better about staying on top of my plant chores. Any little thing like this, I can just pop on the camera, we can do it together and cross it off the list. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I will see you soon. Bye.